So what all have I gotten over the last couple days? Well, he's from a road trip. There's some yard sales, and also from a road trip. Yep, I got him too.
Hill's Toy Collection.
So over the last several days, we found quite a bit of like vintage toys and some really cool stuff between yard sales, and we also went to I think it was three different toy shops. So it was so much fun. I had to get this on video and show you guys what I found. And first, I want to start with the yard sales. So here is the yard sale stuff. This stuff back here, if you saw my short, I explained all of that. I basically got all the video games and stuff for $5 a piece, plus that board game. I guess we'll just go ahead and start with, because these are a separate yard sale. So let's go ahead and start with everything that I got from that one yard sale from that collector. And it was crazy. And I left the prices on there so you can actually see. I'm sorry I didn't get any footage from it. It was one of those things that when we pulled up and I saw all this stuff, I didn't want to stop to grab my camera. I just wanted to get what I possibly could at that time. So my son is big into Transformers, so I got him a Transformers book for 25 cents, which is pretty cool. And then this Superman VHS for $1. Thought that was a pretty great deal. So I have a couple of these in this version of Superman, these cartoons, but I didn't have this one, so that was cool to find. And then a couple little books, Power Rangers, and then we have Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which is really cool because I do collect those. And then Voltron book, which is actually kind of cool. So I don't have any Voltron books, so that was actually pretty fun to find. And for $1, like, yeah, I'll pick that up for sure. And then we have a Master of the Universe puzzle, which I don't have this puzzle, so that was a cool find. The box is kind of beat up, and he didn't have a price on it. I think I got it for $5. But the artwork just looks so cool, and yeah, so I had to get that. So that was really fun. And then I didn't have this Jabba the Hutt, which I think is a Power of the Force, I'm pretty sure. But I wanted a Jabba the Hutt like this for $3. Absolutely. Because usually I don't see them except for with the whole playset part. So, and I didn't want that. And then a Darth Vader case for Star Wars, $5. I thought was a great deal. Usually when I see these, they're like $20. And it still has pretty much all of the stickers in it. It does need cleaned up for sure, but it has most of the stickers still intact, so I thought that was really cool. So I definitely wanted to get that because that was on my list of getting stuff before. And then the giant movie star Donatello for $5. Like I'm telling you, I could not believe this sale. Yeah, I need to clean him up, and yeah, he's, a little bit scratched up and stuff, but once I clean him up, he's going to look good. He is missing the bandana on the back. Looks like it was broken off. But you tell me, like, for collectors out there, if you would have seen this for $5 and already had him, would you still pick him up? Like, I don't know if that's just me or not, but like, I had to pick him up because $5 was just too good of a deal to pass up just to leave him there. All right, so I had to clear off some space at the table, but this is probably my absolute favorite find there. From my understanding, this is a Mexican bootleg Batman parachute or kite, because you can see the string and stuff there. Honestly, before we've talked about, going to Mexico, and this was definitely on my list of trying to find there. So to find it at a yard sale was crazy. And for $2, like that's just crazy to me. I mean, maybe they're not worth a whole lot. I don't really know. I've never really looked them up, but to find one out in the wild, this was just really cool. So this was definitely my favorite find. And then down here, we have a 1990 Bart Simpson, and he has the hard plastic head and then plush body. Let's see what I get for $2. I got him for $2. So, yeah, he's a little worn on the eyes, but and his clothes, you know, are a little bit faded. But I've been starting to collect Simpsons stuff, so I thought he would be a good thing to put in there. So very happy about that. It did say 4, but I paid 2 on that. And then Wayne Manor / Batcave. I do already have one of these. I have the Batman Returns one of this, and this is the Batman animated series. So if you don't know, what they did was after the first Batcave from '89, starting with the Batman Returns, they did this same mold. It was the Wayne Manor, and then you open it up and it's a bat cave. But they kept reusing the mold over and over again for the different versions of Batman. Like, so for Batman and Robin or Batman Forever and all. And like this one is the animated series. So let me go ahead and open this up so I can show you what it is. Now, this is obvious bare bones. You can see the main difference that you see besides the color, like each one would be different color. But besides the color, different colors of Wayne Manor and the Batcave, the stickers that's in the Batcave will show you like which one. So this is how you can tell it's the animated series. And then each one has this that will go and you can spin around, put your Batman in and spin it around. And then down here, it's missing this one piece that would fold up so the Batmobile can come through. But, I mean, I got it for $3, and it does need cleaned up and stuff, but I couldn't pass it up. And yes, I already have one. I already have the Batman Returns, and honestly, I don't know what I'm even going to do with this. But I couldn't leave it behind for $3. You let me know down in the comments. Am I the only collector that's like that? When you see something for such a great deal, even though you have it, do you still have to pick it up? I don't know. So then that brings us to this pile right here. So I saw this, and it's a figure maker for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I don't remember this when I was a kid. But it was $5. I was like, yeah, obviously, and it's sealed. I'm not going to ever probably make these. It looks like it comes with some paint that you can do too. But it just looks so cool that I couldn't pass it up. And I don't know who can paint that well. I definitely cannot paint that well. Because if I ever made it, it would probably end up just still being white and it would not be painted. But it just looks fun. The artwork on here looks cool, so I had to pick that up. And then, I don't know if anybody remembers Zoids, but this was actually really cool. It's not complete. It has missing a few parts, but for the most part, it is complete. It's just missing a couple pieces. And we have not been able to get it to move or because it has a motorized function in it. We haven't been able to get that to work yet, so we're still looking at that. But just for the box alone was really cool. And again, it was $2. So let me go and open this up so I can kind of show you what it is. So here he is out of the box. Here's some extra parts and pieces that I think you can just change out. This is the instructions, so that was really nice having there because my son was able to build this, and here it is. If you can see around that tusk, that piece right there, we did not have that piece in there. Like I said, there was a couple pieces missing. We do have the tail piece, it's just not on here. I think it's in that baggie over there. But like I said, for the most part, I mean, it's pretty close to being complete, and for $2, like, it's just too cool to pass up. So that was a fun one. So that leaves these two board games left. The first one being the Batman Forever 3D board game, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, $2. I did open this up. I've been trying to collect a lot of Batman Forever stuff lately because I only had maybe like one or two figures when I was a kid, but I did have the glasses and I always enjoyed that movie. So I didn't realize this board game existed. So finding this one was really cool. And I did check and it looked like all the pieces were there together. So it looks pretty fun. Some kind of 3D board game. I didn't look to see how to play it yet, but thought that was pretty cool. And then my son picked out the X-Men board game, which looked really cool. Under Siege is what it looks like. And then let me pull it over here. And it was also $2. And it's got 18 figures. We did look at this and it looked like a few of the figures someone was custom painting, which was kind of interesting. Oh, that's upside down. But it does come with all of these figures and then this big board game. So I haven't looked to see how to play that, but I think we're going to try that out sometime too. So overall, I would say it was an excellent yard sale. And altogether, I'll let you know, I only paid $40 for all of that, which is absolutely crazy. And then we did go to another yard sale the next day, so I'll show you that real quick too. So these were at the yard sale of the next day, and I mean, nothing crazy, but I got them for $0.25 a piece, so I can't really complain. I do not know his name. He's a Dragon Ball guy. I just wanted him because I don't have anything Dragon Ball in my collection and thought he would be just a cool representation. And for $0.25, why not? Han Solo, I did not have this Han Solo, so that was a pretty cool find. I did not know anything about this guy. I guess he's Fisher Price, but the way he was in the bag, his head was kind of up and leaning like this. So it just kind of looked like he was leaning like a cowboy leaning underneath like, a shade tree or something like that. So I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with him, but I think I'll definitely hang on to him because he just looks pretty neat. And then I didn't have an Evil Lynn yet. For whatever reason, I don't know why I didn't have her, and her legs are a little bit, wobbly. But I mean, for $0.25, I am so happy to be able to have her in the collection. So those are the yard sales for the weekend that I had. So a few days after the yard sales, we did great at those yard sales, but I already knew we were going to make this trip to go to these 3 toy shops. So a few days after that, we went down to Xenia, Ohio, which is where they hold the Great Ohio Toy Show. So if you've never been there, I think it's got like 7 buildings. It's huge, huge toy show. They have one coming up in October, but they also have the Route 68 Vintage Toys and Collectables toy shop. And right next to that, they also have another toy shop that's called the Toy Mall. So that one has just different vendors and stuff like that in there. So we decided to go down there first. It was on the way because then we also go down to the toy department later, and that's in Fairfield, Ohio. But more on that later. But at Route 68, I end up finding some Goosebumps books, so that's always good. I am 6 away from the original 62 line, so I'm so close. But it was nice to find other Goosebumps books there to help fill out my collection, so that was great. And then also at the toy mall, we were going through there, and we were walking through. You can find all kinds of stuff there. So they have like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you have Star Wars, like everything. Street Sharks, all that kind of stuff. So while we were in the Route 68 Toy Mall side, that building, I found this really cool, it's a bootleg Power Ranger. I've never seen this before. I thought it was really neat. It has a button right here on the belt, so I'm guessing that it would make his visor light up. But I haven't, on the back here, it actually has a compartment, probably for the battery. I haven't checked to see if I need to replace that or not, or if it's corroded. But I just thought this was really cool, so I was like, I have to have that. And then the next thing I saw was this Street Shark, which is a kids meal toy. Um, I've had this before, but it was missing the teeth. So for the price that I got for this, it was a no-brainer to go ahead and get one that had the teeth on it. Because I've been looking for just the teeth by itself, and it's been hard to find just by itself. So it was nice to find it all together. But then I was walking towards the back of the store, and that's when I saw the life-size, 4-foot tall Michelangelo turtle. And he's awesome. I've been looking for both Mikey and Leo, the life-size 4-foot tall ones, for years now. Every once in a while they pop up on Marketplace, but they're always kind of out of my price range or more than I really want to pay for those. But I was looking at the price between the Mikey and then they also had the Leo. They also had weapons. Now the Leo one, his weapons looked like they're the ones that came with it, but Mikey, after I, started looking further at it, I think they were different than the nunchucks that actually came with with it originally. So I was looking at those. I talked to the guy that was working there, which was really nice, super cool guy. And he called the vendor because Mikey didn't have a price on it. And so it ended up being the same price as what he had marked for Leo. And so I just kept looking and debating. And then I was trying to think, am I going to be able to fit these in the car if I do get them? And we still had to go to the toy department. So, what am I going to find there? Am I going to be able to fit any of this stuff in there in the car? So anyways, I kept looking and debating, and he called the vendor, and then the vendor said, if we get both of them, then he's going to cut an even bigger deal off of the price. And that's when I'm like, all right, I don't ever see these very often. That is such, it's hard to pass that up. So I told him, I was like, I don't know if I can get both of them right now. I still got to go to the toy department. So he actually put those on hold for the day because I knew he'd come back. And so that's what leads us to the toy department. So we get to the toy department, and it's a huge store. It has everything that you can possibly find, all the grails that you'd want. It has everything there. It's a really cool store. If you've never been there, definitely go check it out. It is a very big toy store. One of my favorite sections there is the prototype section. They have all kinds of really cool prototypes and just rare stuff in this one section. And one thing that I did get was it is a Kenner Batman first shot prototype, which let me go ahead and take it out of the package here. So here it is out of the package. And this is, if you don't know, it is a Batman Forever figure. The funny thing about this is, and the reason why I wanted this so bad was because I actually already have this carded and I have it loose. It was one of the only figures that I actually had from this line for the Batman Forever. And this is basically what it came out to be. You can see on the back that it doesn't have the tab that is on this one. But it's so cool. This is how that one works. This one, obviously, it just kind of moves around. I don't want to move it too much, but there you go. A prototype figure from the Batman Forever line. They had another one there too, and I think it might have been the Batman and Robin one, but this was the one I wanted just because of it being one of the only figures that I had. So that was such an awesome find. Also, just to add on there, this is the first and only prototype figure I've ever owned. So it was really cool that this was the first prototype figure that I ever got. So we go back to Route 68 from the toy department, and I get them. There's no suspense there. Like, I had to get both of them. So it was such a great deal. I didn't think I would ever probably find them for that price again. So I had to pick them up. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. So here are the life-size, 4-foot tall 2012 turtles that we got at Route 68. And they just look incredible. I still have to clean up Mikey a little bit, and then you can kind of see down here the nunchucks. Those, I'm pretty sure, are not the ones that came with him originally, but I believe that these are the correct katanas that came with Leo, and they just look so good. I mean, if you look at the size there compared to like the giants that I have of the 2012, I mean, you can tell they're big, but I mean, they're 4 foot tall, so they just they just look so good. Let me go ahead and spin them around because you can also take part of their shell off and store stuff in it. So here's the backs of them, and on Mikey, he still has the sticker. And it looks like the nunchucks were originally stored in the shell. But, I mean, they look so good. Now you go here and just kind of pop off the shell here. And then you can kind of see inside. And, yep, so you can just store, their weapons. You can store other figures. I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want with them. And then it just slides back on. They look incredible. I'm so glad that I was able to pick these up. Now, the other thing, too, is I'll show you the articulation, because they do articulate a little bit. So you can move the head around. You can move the arm. It's kind of hard doing this one-handed, but you can move the arms, both arms up and down. And then also you can turn the wrist around. So it does have a little bit of articulation, which is pretty cool. The other thing I did notice too is on one of his katanas, it looks like it was chewed up a little bit. But again, I don't care. For the price that I got, it was just a deal I couldn't pass up on. So they look great. Now I just need to find a place to put them in here. Actually, the more I keep looking at it, I think that's where they're going to be. I think I'm just going to keep them there in front of that closet, because it already works with the vintage comforter that we turned into a curtain. So, I mean, it already works there. I mean, it works because there's nothing else I can really put there anyways. So I think that that's where they're going to stay. You let me know what you think. Now, the funniest part about it was us leaving with these two life-size 4-foot tall turtles out of the store. And we parked a couple blocks away, so we were walking down the street with these big turtles. And let me tell you, a lot of people were looking at us, probably thinking we were crazy with these things. But they're great. I love them. I still don't know exactly where I want to put them in the toy room or how I want to have that. But I'll find a place. I will definitely find a place for these. So that was our trip down to Xenia and Fairfield, Ohio. It's always a great trip. I wish I could do it more than a couple times a year. And maybe I will start trying to do that more often. But it was really fun. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you on the next one.